The other presentation by the ministry is the report and recommendation of a council committee set up by the president in order to respond to demands by state governments for refunds on intervention made previously before this administration on federal roads before the president subsequently issued the directive that there should be no more intervention by states on federal roads, but there were some that had been done before the life of this administration. So there were 3 states, Kebbi, Yobe, and Taraba states. I think on the 22nd of June, I reported that the claims for Kebbi for 18.663 billion were approved on the 22nd of June this year. Yobe, pardon me, 22nd of June. That left those for Kebbi and Taraba states. So today, Council approved 6.706 billion for Kebbi state and 2.470 billion for Taraba states. The council also approved that the road under construction by Taraba state, for which this reimbursement is being made, that contract by the state government should now be terminated. That is the section between Bali and Seti in Taraba state. This is because you will recall last year that council had approved the full reconstruction of Bali Seti to Gombe, to Gembu, Bali Seti to Gembu under the NNPC tax credit scheme. This is a better designed road than the one that has a laterite base currently being constructed by the Taraba state government. But because there was an existing approval given before the life of this administration, we will refund up to this last refund, but we will not refund anymore. We're going to reconstruct the road. So I just thought it was important to make that clarification. We have a full construction now instead of part construction that the Taraba state was undertaking. Another interesting thing to note about these refunds is that they relate to debts and obligations incurred by the previous administration before the life of this administration. So this is also part of the national debt. So the process of payment requires the Ministry of Finance, subsequent to this approval now, to go to the National Assembly to get approval to raise debt to secure payment to the states. I think it's important to note that when we're having conversations about the national debt, these are some of the components. They were inherited debts that this government is also paying for infrastructure. The last point to note is that this is a bipartisan approval, irrespective of party affiliations. All of the states who submit, who meet the conditions, who show documentation benefit. As you will see, Taraba, Kebbi, and Yobe states are certainly bipartisan in their political affiliations. And you will see that previously, when I came here, we had reported refunds to states like Akwa Ibom, Rivers, Cross River, and Oshun, I believe, at the time. So it has gone on like this, and the total amount now, the first tranche was about 700 billion for 24 states. I think we then reported about another 120-something billion for about 5 states. So now this is a total of 18.6 plus 6.7, that's about 25 roughly, plus about 2.5, about 27 thereabouts if you add it up again. So it's nearing $1 trillion very progressively, and that's part of the public debt that we're talking about. Thank you very much.